I tell you that a particular gadget cannot be hacked, manipulated or tampered with, would you just believe me? No. You would either try to check it out yourself or bring in an expert. So why doesn't the Election Commission follow this logic when it comes to EVM VVPAT machines? Why are we as citizens and voters compelled to accept that EVM VVPAT machines cannot be manipulated just because EC says so? Why a cloak of secrecy over this crucial issue in the name of national security? The Quint filed an RTI with the Electronics Corporation of India or ECIL and with Bharat Electronics or BEL seeking information on the components used in EVM VVPAT machines along with the names of the component suppliers. Please note that ECIL and BEL merely assemble EVM VVPAT machines after importing the components from various suppliers. Both BEL and ECIL refused to share this information, saying, and I quote, "Classified information, the disclosure of which would affect India's strategic, scientific or economic interest and would also harm the competitive position of a third party," unquote. But experts disagree. Here is what IIT Kanpur's cybersecurity expert Professor Sandeep Shukla says, and I quote, "If the EVM VVPAT design is secure, then why is EC afraid to publish it? National security is an excuse. Security by obscurity doesn't work. Transparent external testing is the best way to find vulnerabilities and improve the design security of EVM VVPAT machines," unquote. And the fact is that many developed countries have stopped using electronic voting machines after identifying their vulnerabilities. For instance, Holland stopped using EVMs in 2007. Civil society engaged with computer experts found that the memory chip in EVM machines could be easily replaced in less than 5 minutes, allowing for manipulation. They also found that simple radio receivers placed outside polling station could observe variations in the electromagnetic signals of the EVMs, making it possible to detect who each voter was voting for. One of our RTI questions to ECIL and BEL was, and I quote, "What is the name of the microchip used in the EVM?" unquote. Also the name and address of the supplier. While our query wasn't answered, we found that BEL had shared this information under RTI in May 2019. The microchip for our EVMs are supplied by NXP, a reputed American firm. But the more crucial RTI revelation was this. While the Election Commission has always claimed that the EVM microchip is one-time programmable only, experts went on to the NXP website and found that its microchips have flash memory, which are not just one-time programmable, meaning if accessed then can be reprogrammed, opening the EVM to manipulation. Moving on, here is another potential weakness of the EVMs that the EC is not being transparent about: the original source code embedded in the microchip of the EVM. The Election Commission claims, and I quote, "The original source code for the EVM is stored by ECIL and BEL under controlled conditions at all times and is not accessible to anyone," unquote. The EC says this secret source code makes the EVM VVPAT machines tamper-proof and has refused to make it public. But a study on electronic voting done by the International Foundation for Electoral System and National Democratic Institute based in US shows that allowing external stakeholders to inspect the source code would allow errors to be identified and corrected. The study mentions how this was done in the US in 2004, when a group of 4 scientists identified several flaws after the US government published the source code of their EVMs online. The question is, why don't we do this in India? Why this secrecy about the EVM VVPAT technology? Why not open up the design, source codes and components to transparent expert scrutiny? Won't this improve and make our EVM VVPAT machines more secure? Does the EC fear the embarrassment that may follow if the weaknesses of our EVM VVPAT machines are made public? But by not being transparent and not letting experts audit our EVM VVPAT technology, aren't we jeopardizing India's election process and our democracy?